imagine a world where a bunch of beach chairs are being overrun by zombies in space New Zealand. Well, you'd be imagining Dead is Land from Deep Silver. It's built on the Chrome Engine 5, not Google Chrome, because this is an Android app, unlike some games we've reviewed. It's been developed by Techland, and you can pick up the Game of the Year edition for $19.99. But if you were lucky enough to grab it a couple weeks ago, they had the Game of the Year edition on sale for $5 whole space bucks, which is pretty good. So what is it? Terror, violence, madness, bedlam. Sounds like a party. A holiday paradise gone mad. Tropical ruin. Tropical island turned into a total chaos after a mysterious zombie outbreak. It's called hepatitis. Cut off from the rest of the world. The player's only chance to survive is to fight death. Find a way to escape from the island. So, in real person talk, this is basically like Borderlands with zombies. But anyways, because this takes place on the beach with beach chairs, we have our chair acquisition. 1 chair means that it's shit, 2 chairs means that it's math, 3 chairs means that it's pretty good. 4 chairs means that Pedro will talk about it just as much as he talks about his new computer. And of course we have our categories, Odoo, mixed with the working, shiny sounds, controls, and fun. So let's kick this off. Then Dead is Land, make with the working.
So sorry, I was just loading my reply to that, J-Man. All right. I think we're all just assume now that this is native. It's kind of funky. I could never get a straight response to whether or not it was. But whatever. It runs not too bad. Here's some issues, though. It changed my monitor gamma when in windowed mode. Yes, you did, Brad. Yes, you fucking did. Now, full screen, not a big issue. Let's say I want to run something in a window and maybe pause it and check something on the interwebs. Now, when you blow my gamma up that high and I'm trying to read white text on a background, not that issue, white text on Google, something like that, that's completely racist.
Did you say background?
Awesome. Show title. That's a bit of a pain in the ass, and it should not do it in windowed mode. I'm just going to be honest with you. In all fairness and in closing on this, performance is absolutely hella off the chart on a Ubuntu 1404 LTS dual 770 octo-core powered box of business. So we'll give it 3 cheers just because it fucks with the gamma. Gamera.
I don't know. I didn't have any Gamera issues because, you know, Gamera is a friend to children. But yeah, the game runs stupidly well. If this is some kind of rap port, they have some sort of moon sorcery thing that they've pulled to make it run as well as it does, consistently getting over 60 FPS. No issues with, like I said, no issues with Gamma. Works. Just, yeah, the long load times aren't enough for me to ding at a chair, so I'll give that 4 chairs.
Yeah, I read the Steam forums, and apparently it is a native port. There were a couple of people trying to decompile the ELF file. At first they were complaining that it wasn't stripped, and it is a 740-something megabyte ELF file, and stripped it would only be like around 40 or 50. But yeah, it is very much native, and on the calculator, the main campaign crashes immediately after I choose a character or finish loading a game. And the interesting thing is, the Rider campaign from the DLC, it works. Doesn't crash. What the hell? Now, on the new PC, everything kind of sort of works, but tune in for the shiny and sounds, because I'm going to get into that some more.
What kind of PC?
But the new PC has a 970 Strix and an AMD 8370E with 8 gigs RAM and the SSD and the Western Digital Black. But
you
saying
you
this,
can check out basically any of Pedro's social media accounts for an incredibly detailed breakdown.
Yes.
Is it running GLC as the operating glibc for your operating system, or is he running something else?
Yes, it's Corora 20, 64-bit.
All right.
But yeah, saying that this game loads from Middle Earth is like saying a snail is a fast creature. 2 chairs.
A snail on cocaine is. So that's 3 chairs for Mix with the Working. Up next is Shiny and Sounds, Ben.
All right, Shiny and Sounds, there's really nothing to mail bomb home about when you see this. It's good looking, but it's not going to blow you away. I mean, it's a bit old. And in all fairness, I'm not exactly the guy that has a lot of experience wandering around in bright daylight at a Wuthering Beach of all places.
You might burst into flames.
It would be hot, let's just say that. Voice acting, it really was not horrid, and on the actual sounds, most of the device organs made a very satisfying thwack when you were doing some skull crushing. So, all in all, on that business, I'm going to give it a 3, mainly because the graphics were good, but they were not, it's not Metro Last Light Redux good components.
Yeah, I pretty much have to agree with Ben on this. The game looks good enough. So much Steve Bloom. You'd think they'd hire actual Australians or New Zealanders to voice this. Instead, they get Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop to voice people from New Zealand. Because Steve Bloom is the workhorse of the voice acting industry. Good on him. But yeah, 3 cheers on that. The game looks fine. Not really mind-blowing in any regard, but it's good. It's AAA, like we've come to expect.
Yeah. The shader compilation at anything higher than the random ass gamma value the game needs fails. It just fails. You get some random artifacting and some really odd colors when there's like water effects or places where the light shift from like a lamp and then the rest of the corridor is dark and then there's another lamp. In the halo that the lamp creates on the ground, the edges, you can see really weird colors. It looks like you're playing the game in 256 colors. It's kind of annoying. But I actually did like the Australian accents, and I think the voice actors did a nice job with the bogan and
they even apologized about Hitler.
Yeah. But yeah, for me, it only gets 2 chairs because there are some glaring issues.
All right, so that's 2 cheers with Shiny and Sounds. Control. Then, are you in control?
All right. This is what I thought the development process was for mapping out your default on your keyboard organ. Let's just drop some shit down, maybe some bones or whatever, and wherever it sticks, golden, ship it. And oh, that's how you switch weapons? Nope. I mean, seriously, it's your mouse. Take your mouse organ, you hold down your middle clicky thing, then it opens up this window of nope. It's like, okay, you're in an intense fight, and your pipe just cocked out on you. You need to change it quick. What do? Open and spin in circles and hopefully select some. Oh, look, you just got killed to death because fuck you. That's why. Here's another issue. Your gerbil speed has fuck all to do with menu and in-game. In-game, I got it set just right. But when I go in to the menu to move around to select inventory or anything like that, it moves slower than a snail without its cocaine. It's maddening. It's very fucking jarring, and it kept me out of the crafting section more than it should have because you couldn't ever set them right. I was like dragging to get it over here to over here. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just get a bashy thing and swack. So, with that said, for the controls, now, I don't know. I've never tried it with the X-Clone controller because if you play a first-person shooter, especially on Linux, with a controller organ, dying a fire. Seriously. I'm going to give it 2 chairs. That's the best I can do, J-Man.
Yeah, the controls really seem like they were designed with controller in mind. And then when they're like, oh, well, I guess we need to put this on a keyboard. Let's just smash our head on the keyboard and divine what the control should be that way. Hey, at least movement is WASD and not something stupid. Yeah. We brought this up last week, but seriously, the F key as the use item key, that's just fucking stupid. Ah. And when you need to knock down doors, you have to go through the little quick time events where you have to move the mouse up. Move the mouse up. I got what they're trying to do with it, but it's pretty freaking
If I'm
terrible.
going to be jerking something off, it's not going to be my mouse.
Yeah, it's gonna be Pedro for sure.
Giggity.
Obviously.
But yeah, and QuickTime events for fighting off zombies, that was dumb. Oh, press the left button, mouse button, now press the right mouse button. It seems so unnecessary. And combined with like the completely non-intuitive controls, I gotta give this 2 chairs.
Yeah, I wanted to give it a 1 chair so bad, but 1 chair means that it's completely and outright busted. Matter of fact is, the controls, when in game, work reasonably well. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to recognize half your keyboard. I mean, the letter keys, those are just fine. The number keys above the letter keys, that's fine. The numpad, forget about it. Page up, page down, home, insert, delete, forget about it. The extra buttons on the gerbil, yeah, not gonna happen. So, like Ven actually already mentioned, if you play FPSs, you're probably used to having the mouse wheel scroll up and down to change weapons. That makes sense.
You use the mouse wheel.
But yeah, in this game, you have to hold down the mouse wheel and then wiggle the mouse around to select the weapons. That's a controller scheme for consoles because they're limited to using this shit, and apparently it's stuck. I can't bring it up. But yeah,
Giggity.
It's not a PC.
For you at home, that was a 7-inch dildo.
Yeah. It's not the PC way of doing things. You have tons of buttons. Give us at least a chance to map something to cycle through the weapons. Not having to hold down the frickin' scroll wheel. 2 chairs.
Alright, so that's 2 chairs for control. And finally, our subjective category. Fun. Ben, did you have
Fun. I really wanted to give this 1 chair because, well, yeah. But in all fairness, I've played worse. Look at the negatives here. Fuck all load time. Seriously. Shite weapon selection controller thingy. Fuck that noise. But at the end of the day, it is your average, slightly above average zombie smasher game if you just ignore the quest. I mean, it's good for blowing off some steam, or if you're like me, you're like, oh, that's what sunlight looks like. Weird. And just go smash some people. I kind of wish you could smash the actual people, too, because I really wanted to sodomize Giggity. A couple of them with pipes and other contraptions that I did put together, finally. It just took a long time. If it goes on stupid sale again, pick it up. It's a no-brainer. At its current price, no. Absolutely not. This does not save that money for your Metro 2033 Last Light Redux. That's what you should do. For this game, like I said, couldn't give it 1 because it's not complete shit. I mean, it's a time waster. I put an on into it. But wait for my final thoughts, because I got some multiplayer business to talk about. So, 2 chairs.
Oh, you want final thoughts for multiplayer? I was just gonna go right into it.
Go for it.
Yeah, if you wanna play multiplayer, good luck with that. For whatever reason, when Ben and I were trying this out yesterday, or actually this morning, believe it or not, we were trying. Oh yeah, let's join multiplayer. That shouldn't be too hard. Number 1, you have to be. If you want to join someone's game, you have to be in the same spot or later, which makes sense. But then you have to go into the game lobby, and I don't know, for some reason, there are a bunch of different versions of Dead Is Land out for Linux, because if you're running the wrong version, you can't connect. You can't even, and sometimes if you have certain DLC installed, you won't be able to connect unless the other person has DLC installed, and you can't even disable that DLC so that someone else can connect. It's an entire ordeal, and it took us, 30 minutes to get multiplayer sorted out?
On before. No, I had to re-download the entire fucking other...
Oh, that's right, yeah, you had to re-download the entire game. And, okay, that's multiplayer, completely... Once we got it up and running, it was reasonably okay. This is basically Borderlands with zombies and fucked up inventory management. It's I don't want to call it Borderlands fatigue. This game is inferior to Borderlands. in many degrees. Like every single mission is go out, get this, come back, go out, get this, come back, go out, get this, come back. It's so grindy.
Quests.
It's so pointless. I had no fun playing this game. After like an hour of like futzing around with all the different characters, I'm just like, fuck it, I'm done. Goodbye. One chair.
Yeah, it's not just the fetch quests, it's actually the escort missions, because the AI in this game is stupid. And I mean stupid. Back when the game was originally released, the NPCs would not enter your vehicles. Like, say you were driving a vehicle to get to the quest area, and then you had to escort the NPC back. The NPC would outright refuse to enter your vehicle. But then they released a patch when the game was only on Windows that it would fix that. Nowadays, at least on Linux, the NPCs do not enter the vehicles. They don't. They're running back to the quest giver, and you're driving along behind them, and it's like, okay, run on ahead. And then if they die, you have to restart the mission. It's a fucking pain in the ass. It's one of those games that is actively trying to get you to hate NPCs. But yeah, other than that aside, it has the makings of a proper game. The core idea was something interesting. It could have been an awesome game if it had been done properly. Fortunately, 3 years have gone by since the game was originally released. They've ported it to Linux, and they have introduced even more bugs than the game already had. It had a lot of them. That NPC one I mentioned was just the tip of the iceberg. But at this point, I can't really recommend it. So for the fun, gets one chair.
So that totals to one chair for fun, and the entire game totals to 2 chairs.
There we go.
So, gentlemen, final thoughts.
That multiplayer thing, we were almost at the point of like spending 30 quid to try to get it to work. We were that fuck-mothering frustrated. Maybe we don't have the right, maybe we need to buy this version, whatever. Fortunately, we just got down and I was like, I may have had an earlier version than other people have had.
If you restart the game enough times, it'll work.
That was our solution at the end of the day. After I reloaded it, re-downloaded it, then it just happened, and I hit record. We got some great footage of that. It'll be coming out next week. Still, multiplayer is not enough to save this because you're not doing anything exciting and new in multiplayer. It's like, but you can trade with each other. It's like, who the fuck all wants to sit back and trade with zombies around? It's like, oh no, zombie horde. Hey Ben, what you got, man? Yeah, no, that looks nice.
What's going on? You got some cocaine for me?
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, no, J-Man really nailed it right there. I mean, it's questy like Borderlands, but bad questy. It's grindy questy and pointless. I don't care about any of these people. I would just kill them all and hold up somewhere to the entire plot. And the way the weapons damage and run out and you have to get them repaired, that's just a fucking mechanic to keep you fucking grinding. All right, enough Lewis Black. J-Man?
Yeah. The one thing that really bothered me is it looks like you can interact with the environment because the pots and pans and vases and whatnot sort of pop out. But it's not. Your stick will literally phase through them because apparently it is the master stick and can only be used to defeat Satan.
Oh, and everything has cash in it.
Oh yeah, everything has cash in it. Everything has booze in it. And if you pick up booze,
I forgot about that.
It occupies your main inventory slot, so you click your left mouse button, and then you drink, and then the entire freaking game goes completely.
And everyone in New Zealand only knows about energy drinks, right?
Energy drinks.
Yeah, that's one thing I forgot to mention is the inventory, like the loot system, not the inventory. Well, the inventory system is busted in its own special way, but the loot system is actually completely broken in Linux. Namely, you kill stuff, you get brass knuckles. You open a chest, you get brass knuckles. You open like some random cooler you find out in the street, there's energy drinks. Anything that's randomly generated loot it always gives out the exact same thing. Either you find something specific out on the street that's actually placed on the map when the level loads that's any different. Otherwise, all you'll find are brass knuckles, money, and energy drinks.
Yeah,
that's it.
Honestly, the weapon system is a bit screwy. I get what they were trying to do, where you can like upgrade and repair weapons, but lead pipes don't break. they
do in this game.
they do in this game because apparently lead is the same as aluminum.
Well, you got to remember, zombies are made out of adamantium.
Yep.
That's true.
And a crowbar, you can hook up a 12-volt battery to a crowbar and have it deal electrical damage because physics, bitch.
Whilst holding the crowbar.
Yes.
Brilliant.
On that shocking closer.